broke up, and it was exactly the opposite.
It should be reassuring to find two young men so engaged in an election.
I'm fed up with all the bull crap in politics, and we know that we need to have good, freedom-loving candidates in office.
In a Trump-branded pickup, we're on the campaign trail in Pennsylvania, and the chat is about the candidates here.
If John Fetterman, God forbid, but if he was elected to the Senate, he'd be voting with Biden, voting with Kamala Harris 100% of the time.
But here's the thing. These disciples of Donald Trump have been conned by his enduring evidence-free claim. They believe he won the last election.
People that they need to get out and vote. So.
And if you thought this was a fringe view, a lie peddled by Trump which can now be dismissed as background noise, well, think again. Because as America heads to the polls for this midterm take on the country's direction, the anger, the division cannot be overstated.
America's at stake. If we lose it, our country's going to hell.
I think it's a civil war. I truly do.
Really?
Yes, I think that's the only thing that's gonna bring America back together after this election if we lose.
That's an extraordinary, frightening prediction.
It is. I mean, but look back to back in the old days. That seemed to fix it the first time. So.
It's not what you want.
It's not what I want at all. But I mean, we're out of options.
Knock, knock.
In search of maybe a more measured, nuanced perspective, we went to meet a different generation of Republicans at their local party office.
Which was an invalid decision.
Less talk of conflict here, but what of the idea that they were robbed in the last election?
So how many of you here believe that Donald Trump should have won or did win the last election?
Absolutely did win.
You all think the election was stolen by Biden?
I don't even talk to Democrats trying to convince them to change their vote because it's like talking to a wall.
They're out to lunch with the border, with drugs, with crime, with inflation. They've always got an excuse, but there's no answer.
Their solution is the Trump-backed talk show host and doctor turned politician.
Dr. Mehmet Oz.
He's been behind in the polls, but is closing on his rival.
Fetterman! Fetterman!
This man, John Fetterman, the self-styled salt-of-the-earth, man of the people liberal. There's been plenty of talk about his fitness for office. He had a stroke 5 months ago and struggles with sentences. So what, say his supporters? This is about a bigger challenge, the biggest.
There's lots of talk about the threat to democracy in America. Do you think that's overstated, or do you think genuinely there is a threat?
I think it might be understated. I think there's a genuine threat to democracy in this country, and it really scares the hell out of me.
You know, reflecting on all the conversations here, it is kind of jolting. There is so much going on, so many different issues, a growing division, no doubt, and absolutely no trust between the two sides. There's anger, for sure, but I felt fear among people too, a real sense that they don't know what comes next, and they don't know how they themselves would react to it.
In the days ahead, prepare for new claims of fraud, because here and in states across the land, communities in echo chambers have been duped. Doubt has been sown into the fabric of American society. Mark Stone, Sky News in Pennsylvania.